So to get to the thermostat housing, I'm going to have to remove the air cover here, air filter cover. Actually, I'll have to remove this whole box here, breather box intake, and the cover and the bottom part. But first of all, I've got the negative battery cable off the battery, and there's two 10mm bolts. I've got this one completely out. This one's loosened over here. I don't think I'll need to take it all the way out. Disconnected this MAF connector right here. There's also a connector I disconnected right here. See that there? A hose right here I took off. Loosened the hose here that connects the air filter cover to this part of the intake breather. Okay, there's a hose here that goes to the front. 3 on the side here. I've got those marked. And you can see it's going to be 2 hinges here, so there is no bolts back there. So I'm going to pull this away from the Okay, next I'm just going to take that air filter out. Okay, with the air filter out now, there is 3 bolts, number 10, 1 up the top here, closest to the engine, and then 2 down here, deeper. So you'll need an extension socket on those. Once I get those removed, then I'll just push this down here and pull the box away and out. Alright, so I've got these bolts completely loosened and pulled up. I didn't take them out, just left them laying in there. Push this down. And it's going to be easier to go ahead and take this off, and I really want to go ahead and do that because it's still going to be an obstacle for me. So I've loosened up over here the throttle body, the hose right here. So that's loosened, that clamp is loosened. You can see the hose rocking there. Let's take this away here and hose back here. And now we should just be able to, gonna have to remove the hose right here. First, I think we can go ahead and just pull it. Alright, I think I'm going to have to use 2 hands for this. Maybe not. Alright, now we can see the thermostat housing here. You can see the sensor on top, and there's a bolt there. There's another bolt down there. I don't know if we can see that yet. And then there's one underneath here. really can't access that yet. There's a harness that needs to come off. It's right held on the back of the thermostat housing. I do have one nut off, and that is a 12 millimeter. But you can see there's a inlet pipe right here that goes into the housing. It's supposed to be an O-ring on it, and that connects to the lower radiator hose. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off before I continue. There's a brace that holds it in place, and it's easier to move this out of the way here. You can see the brace bolt right here. You can see the lower radiator hose, the rubber hose, and you can see how it goes into the pipe there. So that is I believe this is I think this is a 14 millimeter. So I'm just going to try to pull that inlet pipe away or out of the housing there. Okay, and there'll probably be some fluid draining out from the block. But I'm just grabbing the hose here, not taking the hose off. And let's see if I can. Just kind of twisting it, pulling it. There we go. No radiator or antifreeze fluid leaked out, but probably try to replace that O-ring. So getting back to the wiring harness here, I think I said 12 millimeters. That's a 10 millimeter nut, and yeah, there's no way to get the thermostat off unless you remove this plastic encased housing here, and this has been pretty difficult. It has 3 nuts that hold it on. It's held on here, then there's one right here. Don't even know if you can see that. Try to get at it from another angle so you can see it's a heavy plastic encasement here, like a box. And it runs from here. Here's the other nut right here. I've taken that off, and then it runs back behind the throttle body back here, and you can't even see where you're working at. There's another nut that comes off, and it's held on by it's a 10 millimeter nut, but it's the stud's pretty long, so I needed a wrench instead of a socket. If you got a long deep socket, that will get that one off, but that one you can't even see to work on. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull this harness, wiring harness, away. Okay, that's that one. Alright, so I've got 2 of them. Now, the other one doesn't come off the side. It's like straight up like this, so I've got to pull the harness up like up towards the throttle plate here. I don't think I can do that with one hand. So yeah, it's pretty difficult with this wiring harness here. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not as bad. I think I'm getting it here. Sorry you guys can't see that. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down and get the harness. You know what? Might be able at this point to just leave it in place. I might be able to get the thermostat off. Alright, so here's where I'm at now. I think I'll leave that wiring harness where it's at. You can see that right there. The housing should be able to clear that now. If not, I can move it up some. But yeah, I took the connector off of the sensor. That is a one-wire sensor, so make sure that you're really careful and don't break the wire there. Got a good separation here from the inlet pipe to the housing. Got a pretty good view of the 3 nuts that'll be coming off the housing. There's one there in the top. There's one right down there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's kind of a shadow here. There it is, and there's one underneath. And over on this side here, kind of right under the sensor there. So I'm going to go ahead and get my socket out. Okay, I've got that one loosened. I had to go buy a deep socket. My socket wasn't able to get on one of these nuts, so I've got one of them out already, which is right down here, and I've got the other 2 loosened. Okay, now on the first one, the actual stud came out as well. So we'll see how this bottom one goes in here. Also, I've got some paper here tucked underneath there because I expect fluid to be coming out. Got the nut out. So yeah, the nut came out, then the whole stud end came out on one of these. So got them all right here. And all right, got some movement here. Here's a look at the housing. And the old thermostat here. New thermostat just so happens to be the same brand. Got a gasket here, back armory. This is a CarQuest, the new one. Opens at, actually they had 2 of them. They had one that opens at 180 Fahrenheit, one that opens at 170. This is the 170. OEM is 180. Yeah, the same, pretty much the same thermostat. I've never changed this one, so I don't know how long it's been there. But looking at the brand, and it says, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it says Motorad. So it just so happens to be the same one for here. Forgot how much it cost. It's like $11 or something like that. So what I'm going to do next, let me see if I can regain a focus here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to clean the housing off here. I've got a scraper, t-shirt here, and some brake parts cleaner. Okay, new gasket fits good. Cleaned off the surfaces here. Also where that O-ring is going to be going. Yeah, I made sure that I didn't spray the sensor here, so I just sprayed onto a rag over there and just wiped it down after I scraped it really good. So yeah, I mean, it's not beautiful, but no, it's there's no more material on there, so I'll degrease it one more time, I guess, before I put it on. Okay, it's got this jiggle pin here. You see that right there? Hear that maybe? That's going to be going straight up, so it'll be kind of straight up like with the sensor there. Alright, so again, the jiggle pin there, right there. Try to get that straight up. Get this first nut on here. So anyway, I'm gonna get the other nut on, then I've got the stud that came out. I'll put that in place. Okay, now I'm going to have to tighten these with my torque wrench at 70 inch-pounds. Okay, wiring harness slid back on. Now let's put the new O-ring on the inlet pipe there. And the O-ring here, the inlet pipe. I'm going to replace that with a new one. Okay, here's a look at the old one. It's actually really pretty good, but for 99 cents, I'm going to go ahead and replace it with this new one here. Just get some soapy water on this. Okay, new O-ring is on. Alright, you really don't have to push it on that hard or far. You just really need to push it on so that it lines back up with the brace, harness brace. Wires back in place here. Okay, so I guess that'll be it. Everything else is just putting the air cover and breather box back. Then of course I'm going to add coolant, and should be good. So anyway, thank you for watching. That is a replacement of a thermostat on a 2002 Toyota Camry V6 3.0. Hope it's been helpful. Until next time, have a great day out there and take care.